Before I start this video, I just want to say that, yeah, I'm cool with whatever you guys want to do. I think it's a good idea. So, yeah. I would like to talk about leveling mechanics in video games. I think that video games have them way too often, and that a lot of games should not have leveling mechanics. I'd like to talk about the cons of a leveling system. First are the balancing issues. Like in Nier Automata, in the second ending, when you're fighting some of the bosses you've already fought, the bosses level up slightly, but they don't level up to the level that you are at, so it makes the game trivial. It makes it so that you can beat every boss in about 30 seconds with zero effort, and it even gets to the point that sometimes you beat them so fast that you then realize there are sections of the boss fight that you can't actually deal damage to them, which is pretty bad game design, and it would be solved by just removing a level up feature and balancing it for specific times. If you don't have a leveling up system, then it's much easier to gauge what power level the player will be at. Another issue I have with it is that it allows the developers to sort of shy away from actually adding on to the gameplay formula and just making it so that you do more damage or you have more health, while not actually changing the gameplay itself. And I do think that the core gameplay should not change, but in certain games they give you more tools and more abilities throughout the game, and I think that's the way that it should be, instead of just you do a little bit more damage with your sword. Because it's much more interesting to have a different way to go about things than to just do the thing that you already did a little bit better. I'd also like to talk about some games that have done it right, and if you guys have any as well, Rem and Joseph, please let me know, because I don't really have that many. I'd first like to talk about Sakura. I think that they did it right in that game because they sort of don't have a leveling system. You just get XP and then you get a skill point. There's no level attached to it. When you get a skill point, you can then put it into a skill that you want, and those skills change how you play the game. Like there's one that lets you stomp on an enemy thrust. Now before that, you had to deflect it like every other attack, which, you know, it halted their movements or whatever, but it didn't stop it in their tracks. And with stomping on the attack, it just completely stops it, shuts them down, and mostly opens you up for another attack so that you can counterattack them. And I think that's the way it should be done. Also, I think that Shadow of War did a pretty good job with it. Although, I'd only give them 3/4 of a point because they allow you to exploit weaknesses in that game with the skill points. They also allow you to kill in different ways, and that's good, but then once you get towards the end of the game, they add in prestige points, and that just increases your ability slightly. Like, it'll increase your critical hit chance a little bit, or it'll increase the amount of wrath that you gain a little bit, which is a little bit cheap, but I get why they added it. I think a lot of games add these systems just because it's what people like, because people do like them, but I think that they need to look and see why they like them. It's people like the systems that add intuitive ways to play, add better ways to play, add more ways to play, not systems that add a little bit of damage to your weapon. Thank you for watching.